Hey, and welcome back, adventurers, to another Hasbro-sponsored Indiana Jones review. Making our way through the rest of what was in that awesome crate. We're going to be looking at some role-play items today, and a talking Indy. I'm going to include it as role-play because he talks and brings you, immerses you in the experience. So, of course, we have the Adventure series making an appearance here, and this is the Staff of Ra Headpiece. And then there's also this whip. Not Adventure series, but this whip roleplay is included as well. And then this Talking Indiana Jones. Now, similar to the Black series, there was a line of roleplay elements or premium roleplay elements, and it seems like the Adventure series is mimicking that. So we have the more premium roleplay elements, and then we have the other roleplay elements on the more kid-geared lines. It's hard to call this kid line. I mean, everything is kind of geared toward children, but also collectors. So there's more of a collector's line, and then a more wider audience line, and then I guess this is an electronic line. It's been a while since I've seen electronic talking Star Wars. That was more in the Disney store, and this seems to be mainline. So let's start with this Adventure series Headpiece to the Staff of Ra. So looking at the box here, you can see it has that premium feel. You got that pose of Indy in the map room there with the headpiece on the staff. This one's going to have some light up effects, so we'll be checking that out in a minute. So pretty cool. As you can see on the back, you got that base that it also includes, the display stand, and supposedly putting it in the right position in the display stand will cause it to light up. So we'll check that out in a minute. Next up, show you the package here for the whip. So the whip, not a whole lot to the package. It's just kind of thrown in there. This obviously isn't a full-size whip. This is a shorter version. And you can see they have a child on the back with it with a pretty awesome fedora. And this is kind of geared toward a smaller class of collector. And it's just about 3 feet long, as it says, not probably 6 feet, would probably be the length of the regular whip, or maybe even a little bit longer than that. So we'll be checking that out. It's got a pull-back whip, so it kind of extends and comes back. And then lastly, the boxing here for the roleplay Indiana Jones. You can see here he's got voice functions, he's got sound effects, he comes with his whip, he comes with a backpack that helps him talk there. He's going to have some slogans and some whip action, so we'll check all that out as we open up this character. But the consistent thing we've seen on all the packaging is that travel by map in the background, which has kind of become an Indiana Jones staple. So Hasbro kept that consistent throughout the look, as well as the logo of the Indiana Jones. So why don't we get right into it and start with our Adventure series Headpiece to the Staff of Ra. So our Headpiece to the Staff of Ra box, just a single piece of tape on the side here. And we're going to have that plastic-less packaging consistent throughout. Nothing else in the box here. So we have our instructions, our warning in multiple languages, caution, all that kind of stuff, nothing there. The direction sheet, which is going to go over how to utilize this piece. If you can see here, the headpiece separates, which is really cool. So if you wanted just a headpiece prop, you could take it off the staff. If you wanted to make a life-size staff, what was that? 7 feet minus 1 ended up being 6 feet or something like that, the directions in the movie. So you can make your own Staff of Ra, because what really matters is the headpiece, as we know. We have our base here, which is a piece of the map room, and it has little holes for you to put the staff, and only one is the correct hole. And then we have the components of the staff itself. So they're in this fun but difficult package here that I'm just going to rip out. So first we have our piece of the staff. It's not the full-size staff. I don't know if anyone will make a full-size staff. It'd be difficult to ship that thing. So we have the staff itself with this nice little fake gold leaf at the top here. And then we have the headpiece, which is our real important piece here, what we're really after. So the headpiece also comes in this tissue paper. And it's pretty nice. It's got this gold leaf look to it, and it's got writing on both sides. Of course, this would be the side that Major Tot grabbed with his hand to have imprinted on it, and then it has the other side back here. And then it has that jewel in the middle. So this will connect into the stand here. I don't think it matters which way you put it on. I don't see any kind of demarcation that requires a specific direction, so we're just going to put it on this way. And you just push in, and it should snap into place. There we go. And then once you find the right hole, it'll light up. So that's the wrong hole, and then this is the right hole. So let's see if this, well, this has to go in this way, I'm sorry. Oh, there we go. So if you can see on the camera here, and of course I'll give you a close-up, this has a light up function once it finds its mark. And not only does the eye in the center light up, but the writing does as well. I think in the film, the only thing that lit up was the eye, and it didn't really light up as much as caught the sun's light and just reflected through the jewel. But it still has a fun feature this way anyway. And like I was saying, if you wanted to, you could separate that top piece just to have that, wear it like Marion did, or just have the headpiece in general, or make your own staff for it if you want a full-size staff. But checking out this base too, you got some Egyptian hieroglyphics on there, so just owning up to the map room in Tanis, giving that whole world view there, building it out a little bit of sand on there as well. Odd thing in the movie, I don't know how he knew which hole like to put it in, unless it said, you know, arc above it on the hole when he was looking at it. Because on the scene where the guy is reading the inscription, it doesn't say anything about which hole to use, as I recall. So he just kind of knew which one it was and put it in there. So maybe, I don't know, there's a picture of a box here. Maybe that means arc, and then he just knew that that's, I want to find the arc, I put it there. Maybe it helped you find other things. I don't know. Mysteries of the map room. But this is that set. It's pretty cool. Like I said, this is all plastic, not gold. It's got a kind of a paint to it, not a very, it's not gold leaf, but sort of like gold paint. And then it's got this jewel in the middle. If you want like a really high-end replica, I don't know if I call it a high-end replica, Disney Store makes one, and that one is a metal, and it has that gold plating on it with a jewel in the middle. It doesn't light up or anything, but it has more of a look from the film. It's a lot more money, so I think it's a couple $100 if you want that one. This is a lot less, obviously. You can find this in stores, and it has this fun light up feature. If you just wanted a nice little display on your desk, I want the map room light here on my desk or something like that. I think it's pretty cool to be able to light up like that and capture some of that movie magic without breaking the bank. So that is the map room, or the headpiece to the Staff of All with the map room base set. And this is in the Adventure series. So this is the first in line of, we'll call them premium roleplay elements they're doing. We'll have to wait and see. I think a Shankara stone would make a great second piece because that lights up. Maybe if you get a couple of them and they touch each other, they light up from being in proximity, which would be really cool. So that'd be another fun and easy one to do. We'll have to see where they go from there. Crystal Skull maybe, and the Holy Grail is not much of a premium roleplay accessory. But this is a good start. This is kind of fun. I like how it only works when you get it in the right hole, so that's kind of cool. And then it has that glow-up feature illuminating from the base here. And then the option to take it off and put it on your own staff and make a 6-foot Staff of Ra. So that is our look at the first premium roleplay element in the Indiana Jones series. Let's check out this whip next. So moving on, we have our whip here, which is kind of not a premium roleplay element, but more of a general roleplay element. So I'm just going to cut off the little tabs they get on here with my sprue cutters, because it's easy to do this without ruining this. Now it's obviously not leather. This is a fabric whip, so I don't want to cut into the fabric there. And it has a handle down here at the base that is also secured in pretty tightly. Okay, so we have our whip here. Now there's no sound effects or anything like that. There's no batteries in this. This is just a straight up role play element, and I'll try to do this at the camera, but there it goes. It makes a clicking sound as you do a little whipping action. Just a little flick of the wrist and you get a nice flick. And you can hear that click here in the base, so it makes that sound that a whip does in Indiana Jones. It's hard for me to show you other than the box because this isn't going to stand up well in a 3D view, but you can see some wrapping here around the top and the bottom of the grip, and it kind of has the effect and coloring to make it look like it's a leather whip, essentially, with this little foiled end at the end. And like I said, it's only 3 feet long, so it's not a full-size whip, but fun for the little person in your life if they want to do a little whip action without causing any pain or damage. This isn't very tough. It's not going to break anything. You see, little hit on the base there, didn't do anything. So fun, easy accessory for kids to have, or if you just want to sit at your desk and do the whipping noise the whole time, that's fun too. I kind of enjoy it. I think this is fun. I'm going to hang on to this one. It's moderately priced. It's going to be everywhere. I've seen it in stores right now. And best of all, it's not going to take up too much room or require you get some weird looks in public. It could be a fun attachment onto a costume. So if you're doing a Halloween as Indiana Jones, you don't want to carry around a 6-foot bullwhip or whatever. Like, this is an easy thing to just put on your belt and fill out your costume. So if you're doing a little Halloween costume or anything like that, I think this is a fun and easy accessory to pick up that doesn't break the bank. So yeah, I think this is another great essential accessory for Indiana Jones, the whip. Of course, they could make a fedora, but that's kind of tough to market a fedora unless they make like a little one for kids. Most fedoras you can pick up, they're going to run you around $100 or something like that. So yeah, so this is the whip from the Indiana Jones series. Like I said, this isn't the adventure series. This is just a regular general series for a wider audience, not targeted toward collectors. So you can pick this up for you or the kids. Right now it's in stores. We'll also have links for all these at the end of the video. But right now, why don't we check out this last, I'll call them roleplay accessory, and this is going to be the talking whip action Indiana Jones. Okay, so looking at our last roleplay, our talking Indy here, I'm just going to use my sprue cutters to get him out of here in his little tomb. This guy, as we showed you, has a pretty decent likeness of Harrison Ford, even though it's not in the adventure series photorealistic sort of style. He's got his whip, his arm bends here. I think that's part of the functionality of it, though, because there's no other bendable joints. He comes with batteries already, so we don't need to worry about putting batteries in. I don't see any kind of instruction guide in here, but let's see. 10 sounds and phrases, basically, and whip action. Let's see if we can figure out how to do this. I think there's a button here. There you go. So this makes him, pushing his satchel here, makes him do his whip action. And it's got a nice... He hates snakes. So I'm not sure what makes... So he could turn and whip. And he... Fortune and glory. I'm not sure what triggers the sounds, but the whip button here makes him whip. Maybe every time he whips, he talks. Maybe not. Maybe I'm making this up as I go. So he has an assortment of phrases, and he does his whip action. He could move his arm. His legs don't pose at all. His feet don't pose. His head turns a little bit. His body turns with the whip. But that's basically it. And then he's got the jackets a little bit layered on there. It's not one solid piece. The bottom, at least, is a different section. You can see where the line is here to give it a little bit of layering. But that's basically it. I mean, he's got some nice detail. I'm looking for more. Just trying to understand how to make him talk, because it's kind of random. Her talk or her do the whip. Yeah, that's basically it. So it's unpredictable when he's going to talk, but he's got all the great phrases in there, including "It belongs in a museum." No, you belong in a museum, Dr. Jones. But it's pretty cool. I think the audience on this might be a younger crowd, or it could be my age who just wants a really cool talking Indy to keep around the office or something like that. This whip has a nice design to it too, with that little frail down on it. And it really mimics what we just saw with the whip accessory, except this one's more proportionate. I don't think it's as long as it needs to be, but it works. It's a rubbery sort of design to it, so it could have that flexible look to it. And that's really it. I mean, if you want to replace the batteries, you can. They're really tiny, tiny cell ones. I don't know what size it is. The LR44s, so you can pick those up most places if you end up running the battery out. Pretty much am right here. So that is our Indy. I'm going to call him roleplay Indy here. That has the whip action and says the phrases. No buttons. You just kind of push his satchel and make him do this, or you could turn his body and here also do the whip sound. So it's kind of hard to gauge what makes him do his voice. I think it's just when you touch the satchel. But that is our look at Indy, and that kind of wraps up our look at our accessories here. Nice bunch here in the first wave of Indiana Jones role-playing elements. probably going to be more. This series has been really popular so far. It just launched. And of course, we have a new wave coming out with Temple of Doom. We have some bits and pieces of The Last Crusade. The Last Crusade wave that hasn't been announced yet, but I'm sure that's coming. So I'm sure we're going to see more roleplay elements. Hopefully Shinkara stones. Hopefully we'll see, I don't know, maybe Crystal Skull, maybe other elements as well. It's, like I said, it's kind of hard to do an element of roleplay for the Grail, but we'll see. So yeah, check these out. Pick them up if you want. We'll have a link here for you to check them out on Pulse if you want to grab them. These are out in stores right now, but totally fun. Totally, they work like they're supposed to. And I think they're just kind of build out your world if you're an Indy fan. If you're looking for something to keep at the office, I think this is pretty cool. It fits on your desk. You could probably also put some pens or something in it and turn it into more than just the headpiece of the Staff of Ra in the map room. This is a little fun piece to just keep around too. And even Indy here that talks. I mean, it's a great way to introduce your kids, get them excited about the upcoming film, and just have something in your world that has a bunch of Indy sayings on it. So not bad. Check these out now. They're in stores. That's all for this time. We're going to have more videos coming up. We have one more Indy video coming up. We said May is going to be Indy month, so of course we got more. So like, subscribe, and follow, and we will see you guys next time.